I promise. One of these days, we're going to figure this out. But I can't guarantee today is that day. There's a lot of acoustics in this room. Yeah, there's that. We're going to figure it out. Today is not that day. Today is not the day we figure it out. Hi, I'm Jen, and welcome to my podcast. Hi, I'm Jen, the podcast where I talk about whatever I want because I'm alone in my house. There's nobody to stop me. So what have I been up to lately? Kind of the same shit. Kind of a different day. I am wearing makeup today, and it's a look. It's a look. It's basically just purple eyeshadow, but a lot of it. Because I just got back from the theater with my good friends, Rachel and Darren and Caitlin. Yes, we went to the theater to see Beetlejuice, the musical. Maybe now you can see that. Yeah, so went to see that. So fun, had so much fun. Got me a hoodie, if you can't tell. Had to get a hoodie because A, it has the stripes. 2, it says Beetlejuice on it. And 3, maybe you'll be able to see it. It says it's showtime. Which is from all of the Beetlejuice. Whatever you want to call it, canon. Yeah. I grew up on Beetlejuice, the movie. I also grew up on Beetlejuice, the animated series. And that's the playbill from the musical that we saw today at the Civic Center. Sorry, had a stroke. Civic Center Music Hall in Oklahoma City. Yes. I also got me a sandworm. And I got the sandworm because I'm hoping my cats will play with it. I mean, how goddamn cute would that be? I even covered it in, what's that shit that cats like? Catnip. So that maybe they would enjoy it a little more. But, yeah, we got a little sandworm. Not the boarworms. No! Not the boarworms. Maybe a cat will play with it. Yeah, so I was wearing like a nice outfit, and I was hoping you'd be able to see me in the outfit, but I spilled Sprite on the outfit, so yeah, now I'm in sweats. I'm in my Beetlejuice hoodie that I got tonight, and some sweats, so fun times. Yeah, noodle salad. Haven't washed my face yet. Yeah. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Nothing like the movie. Or not much. Not as much like the movie as I was anticipating. It kind of is its own standalone storyline, which is really cool because you don't want. Sorry, it's good. This is you. You behave. It kind of is its own standalone story, which is really, really cool. It does have elements of the original movie. Yes, it does have elements even of like the Beetlejuice movie, and I know that the musical came before the Beetlejuice sequel, so it is kind of cool that, you know, it can almost like bridge the two together. But it's completely own standalone plotline, which was really cool. of course it was hilarious. I like screamed because I was just tickled so much. At one point during the show, I was about to lean into my friend Caitlin and just say, because she and I are both Sagittarius. Yeah, I was so tempted to kind of lean into her and just say, like, Beetlejuice has, like, really big Sag energy, like, kind of ironically. And then decided not gonna do that. My friend Darren instead leans into my ear and he's like, "You are so Beetlejuice," and I'm like, "Son of a bitch." When I'm around friends that I really enjoy their company, I kind of like to with some chaotic energy. So that's my bad. But there was at one point where Beetlejuice was doing like a little ad-lib monologue, and I felt myself being like, "Girl, sing," and then Darren leans into my ear and he's like, "Okay, so you are so like Beetlejuice." And I'm like, "This is not a compliment, but also not true." So I don't know how many double negatives. I don't know how many negatives that was, but it was enough. So and not to say that like I'm in any way demonic, because Beetlejuice is a demon, but he's very chaotic, and I kind of I have that chaotic energy. And I'm not ashamed of it, and I probably should be. So, what you gonna do? What else have I been up to? Honestly, not a lot, because now everyone's like, "Oh, we're actually not hiring until the first of the year." And I'm like, okay, I kind of saw that coming. I don't know why I was, to use a cliche, putting all my eggs in one basket and really hoping that when I was hearing companies are going to start hiring rapidly after the election, I don't know why I kind of believed it. Because everyone that I've spoken to since the election, they're like, "Now we're actually going to be hiring again after the new year." I'm like, okay, this is sincerely reminiscent of what was going on during COVID, like what the job market was like during the pandemic in 2020 going into 2021, because I was actually laid off from my job as a result of COVID, and then I think I was unemployed for about 6 months, and everybody I was talking to, like at the end of 2020, they were like, "Yeah, we're not looking to hire until the new year." So I'm like, okay, well, we were going through a pandemic. I understand that, but we're not going through a pandemic right now. So I really don't know why the job market is crappy, but it is. And I'm hanging in there, and it really does help me to know that I'm not alone. Like, there is another person who I have been kind of following his journey on TikTok. He was also let go from the same company without warning, but he was actually like recruited and handpicked and then relocated from the East Coast to Oklahoma City, and he kind of decided immediately, like, I'm not going to stay in Oklahoma City. There's nothing keeping me here. He was only at that job for 2 years. So I think he's traveling right now, but he put out a very vulnerable post of him being like, it's been a month and I've gotten nothing but rejection letters or nothing but radio silence. And he is a very well-connected person. He does have a really good network of people to fall back on, and that's what another thing I keep hearing is that, you know, right now it's all about networking. You know, if you are looking for a job, go through your friends, go through your network, go through your family, go through who you know. And so that's something that I was doing this week too, is just like seeing, really working my connections in the best way that I can. But same thing, you know, a lot of, you know, your resume looks great, but we're not hiring until January. So we're going to hold on to it until January, and then we'll be open. I know I'm just really trying to be laid back about it, but in the back of my head, there's still that little, like, annoying voice. I think her name is Responsibility, and she is just like, how much of your savings is going to be able to pay your rent, you know, without having a job? You know, how much of your unemployment checks are going to be able to pay your utilities until you get a job? It's scary. It really is. It's scary. And it's the reality of it, and it helps me to see somebody else is going through the same struggle. Somebody who's even more qualified than I am. Somebody who's more connected than I am. You know, it reminds me, like, oh yeah, I'm not alone, and that helps, and not even in a misery loves company kind of way. It's not a, oh, good, I'm so glad that he's just as miserable as I am. Absolutely not. It is just like, I guess almost in a sense of, if somebody as successful and well-connected with as big a network as this person has is struggling to find a job, okay, no wonder I'm also struggling to find a job, and my other friends are also struggling to find a job. The only interviews I've been invited to have been for, like, pyramid schemes with legitimate companies, but I'm sure, probably, I don't know, but just really bad structure. I don't know. It's basically one of those, like, hey, you should come to this interview, and we're gonna make you believe it's a one-on-one interview, but it's not. It's actually, we're recruiting. There's about 30 people in this interview all at once, and we're so high energy and so gung-ho about what we do, and okay, now let's get into what you're going to do, and we need you to give us the name of 20 people who would sign on to do this stuff, and then, well, you're not actually going to get paid, but eventually you'll start making commission, and then you can make as much money as you want on commission, and it's like, suck my butt. I'm not doing that. Yeah, I don't know what that is. I don't know what you call it. It's a goddamn waste of my time is what it is. So, yeah. And it even came about in one of those text messages or emails where it's like, we found your resume and we'd like to interview you. It wasn't even like, oh, you already told us you're interested in our company or in this position or in this whatever. It was, and so even when I was trying to write them back and get more information about because, you know, you gotta do all of your interview prepping, and so I was even trying to tell them, like, trying to write them back, and I'm like, can you tell me more about the company? Can you tell me more about the position? Can you tell me more about where you found my resume? Can you tell me anything about the company? Absolute radio silence. So I took to the Google machine, and that's when she was like, you know, this isn't necessarily a scam, but it is laden with bullshit, so tread lightly. That's fun. So one of my coworkers my previous coworkers, who we were also working for the same company. She is an artist and is now a death doula. She also has a podcast. So hopefully we'll be seeing a lot more from her because, you know, you got a network. You have a podcast. I have a podcast. Let's put our podcasts together and have a great day. Yeah, so hopefully that'll happen. Drawing a blank. Drawing a real big blank right now. My bad. Wow, yeah, I did not prepare for this at all. I don't have a song. I don't have a daily affirmation. I should have a dad joke. So, give me a second. No.
Hi, I'm Jen's dad. Welcome to Hi, I'm Jenn presents Hi, I'm Jen's dad telling a dad joke. What's the difference between a poorly dressed man riding a unicycle and a well-dressed man riding a bicycle? A tire.
Okay, I'm back and I'm better prepared. I think we usually start with the daily affirmation, and I guess this was fall under the realm of an affirmation. It's something that I just heard kind of in passing, and I thought that is brilliant, and I'm gonna keep that, and I'm gonna use it, and I'm going to share it with the world, and so that's what I'm gonna do. Oh, that's cold. I don't know. I was doing so well today, and now everything's falling apart. Like, got dressed real nice, went out in public, behaved myself for the most part. Spilled all over my outfit, and then I was just choking on myself for no reason. And then I went into the kitchen, because I'm like, I'm choking on myself. Let's put a giant peppermint in my face. That'll help. It didn't help. And then I remembered water. So I grabbed water out of the fridge and then took a big drink of it. What the I'm off my rhythm. I'm off my rhythm. I'm not being a very good human right now. Remember water? It's so good. So drink it, you dumbass. Tis the season to be a dumbass. Fa la 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 la. You. That's not the song of the day. We haven't gotten there yet. Hopefully, I don't choke anymore. Okay, so overheard a wonderful, it's not even a mantra, it's just a wonderful quote. And it can absolutely work as a, you know what? There. Out of sight, out of mind. Okay. So, what So what he said is, you don't see bees trying to convince flies why honey is better than shit. I'm going to repeat that, this time without any interruptions. You don't see bees trying to convince flies why honey is better than shit. Yes. There. I got it out. Finally got it out. That is today's affirmation. What does that affirmation mean to me specifically? Don't waste your energy trying to convince anybody of something that they're not going to understand. Like, essentially. Just because they're both flying insects doesn't mean that they're going to be attracted to the same thing. Doesn't mean that they're going to be seen or associated with the same thing. If you are a honeybee and you prefer beautiful flowers and the beautiful nectar that becomes honey, good for you. And leave those shit-eating flies alone. That's what it means. That's what I took away from it. And I really enjoyed it because I'm like, yeah, my energy is not infinite. So why waste it? Why waste it? It's precious. It's mine. And, yeah, I'm not going to waste my precious energy trying to convince flies. You might be happier around some honey instead of horse shit. There you go. Yeah. Put that in your juice box and suck it. So, today's song. I actually was listening to a song, I think yesterday. Yeah, I came back from somewhere. I went somewhere yesterday. I don't remember. And I was listening to music and a song came on. And I really like some of these songs that are basically just mantras being sung over and over again. I actually really dig them. And I will definitely share them with you later. And there was a song that came on that's like, you know, my energy is infinite. And I'm listening to this and I'm like, good for you. My energy is not infinite. My energy has a spending limit. And I need to energy budget. And that might be just right now. That might be just how I work. And so I was like, with all due respect, great singer on my Spotify, glad that your energy is infinite. My energy is not infinite. So I'm going to shut that down real quick. But yes, today's song. It's Wheels by Cake. I believe I talked about Cake earlier. Yeah, I had to have, because I mentioned being at the Zoo Amphitheater in Oklahoma City and going to the Cake show, and where I bought a Cake shirt, and I kept yelling, "Yay, Cake," because I was just so goddamn excited to be there. Cake is such a feel-good band. And Wheels is one of those songs, when it comes on, it just, like, I just want to sing it, just loudly, in my car, in public spaces, in my shower, at my cats. It's such good music, such good music. Wheels is just, I don't know what it is about it. I really, really like that song. There's a good chunk of Cake music that I really, really like. And there's like a handful of like 5 or 7 that I will always gladly play over and over and over and over and over. Shadow Stabbing is another one of them. It's just, adjectives on the typewriter. It's just, I just really like that song. um, when I was in the car, I don't know where I was going, but I just put my Spotify on random. Just put it on shuffle. I don't care what comes up. And Rock and Roll Lifestyle by Cake started playing, and I was like, yeah, I love this song. And it's like, yeah, it's your playlist on Spotify, you dumbass. Like, you're the DJ. Why are you so excited when a song you picked comes on? And that's just how much I love that song. It's just a really great song. Yeah, and I was definitely, I don't know if I sat down once during that show when Cake was on stage. I don't know if I sat down once because they were just that good. And just, I was that engaged and just that happy. And there were a couple of girls that were standing around us, and they were even like nailing his ad-libs, you know. And his ad-libs aren't going to be the same live as they are on record, but these girls were nailing it. They were getting every, all right, oh yeah, they were getting every single one right. And it was just marvelous. It was a marvelous feeling. This is why I love going to concerts. And I do feel like I have to kind of defend concert culture every now and again, because my folks, specifically, will be like, Jen, concerts are really expensive and you don't have to go to every concert, so maybe stop doing that and save your money for, you know, a house and life and stuff. And, but I love going to concerts so much. I mean, and my parents have a good point. Yeah, I absolutely should be saving for, you know, other, like, big purchases. Like, if I ever need another car, or a spaceship, or trampoline, a hot tub. But it's concerts. I love going to concerts. And it's just worth it, because it's an experience. To me, it is absolutely no different from any other hobby where you have to spend money, such as camping. I know a lot of people who love to go camping, and I don't get it. And those same people don't get why people like myself and my best friend would spend hundreds of dollars to see somebody when we could just listen to their CDs for free at home, or stream it in our car. And it's because it's a completely different experience when you're in a huge room with other fans and you're all singing the songs together and you're all experiencing it together, and you get to hear things from this artist you otherwise wouldn't hear. It's just really, really cool. Yeah, it's just really, really cool. And I'm the type of person where if I, for instance, where was I? I was at the Pink concert, and she was singing a song that I didn't recognize, and I was like, oh shit, why don't I know this song? Instead of being like, I don't know this one, so I'm going to go to the bathroom, or I'm going to go get a soft pretzel. I'm like ultra paying attention. What is this song? What are these lyrics? What is this song called? So I can make sure I go listen to it and experience it like on my own time. And I love when the artist that I already love introduces me to new music. It basically, that's what it is. Because you can have a favorite artist, or have a favorite record, or have a favorite track, and you're still going to pick favorites with their whole catalog, you know. I love Prince, and I am very familiar with Prince's entire catalog. But that doesn't mean that there aren't still the same, whatever, top 25 that I won't always gravitate to first. And then I tend to forget about those other songs. So being reintroduced to those songs because somebody mentions it online or somebody adds it to a playlist or because they play it on the radio is really, really cool, because then it's like, oh yeah, I completely forgot about this song, or why don't I listen to this song more often? I love that nudge to, listen to something different than what I normally do. Which could lead me into why I still advocate so much for radio, but God, commercial radio just bugs the shit out of me. I got so spoiled listening to Minnesota Public Radio, listening to The Current, and then they put together Purple Current, which was only web-based. And it was basically all Prince songs. Any of Prince's catalog did not have to be a single, did not have to be a hit or anything like that. Just anything in Prince's catalog, plus anything he's penned for other artists, plus anything else that falls within his genre. And when I was living in St. Paul and working from home, I think I was working like 7 to 7 or something like that. So I was getting up before the rest of my roommates, and I would just have my headphones on, and I would be listening to The Current, Purple Current, because I didn't have to think about the music. If I just throw on Spotify and I even just put one of my playlists that I've put together on there, so I already know I like every single song. But that doesn't necessarily mean you're in the mood to listen to that song, which is why people make fun of those who will put their music on shuffle and then skip until they actually hear a song that they want to hear. I don't know what song I want to hear. I just know I don't want to hear this song right now. So listening to radio where somebody else is curating that for you, it's nice every once in a while, because then I'm kind of forced to not give into my ADHD needs and wasting time, clicking through a playlist that's already on shuffle. I can't go directly to the song that I want to hear. I don't know what I want to hear. I just know it's not this. But when it's radio, I'm in a completely different mindset. I can't skip past it. It's either I'm going to enjoy this, I'm going to be forced to sit here and enjoy this, or if I hate it that much, I got to turn it off. I really enjoyed that, and it really reignited my interest in Prince songs that I wasn't listening to very often. Not because I didn't like them, but just because they weren't, my top 25 favorites or whatever. It was really cool, kind of being reintroduced to an old friend. And, it's also funky. So I love listening to funk music in the morning or when I'm about to go work out, because it's impossible, in my opinion, to hear funk music and be in a bad mood. Funk is some of the greatest shit that exists. It's one of those simple pleasures in life, funk music. If you ain't listening to funk, what are you doing? I know that I've talked about funk already. I'm going to repeat myself. It's going to happen. Okay? Goldfish brain. Alright? I'm guilty of thinking that I'm telling my friend a story they've never heard before, and then halfway through it, they're like, yeah, Jen, we know, you've told us this story 3 or 4 times. And I'm like, well, I'm already mid through the story. I can't just abandon it now. It needs to end. So you're going to hear the rest of this story and just don't react. Or Lie to me. Lie to me. I just have a terrible memory. My best friend from college the other day, we were talking on the phone, and she was like, hey, you remember that time when we did this? And I'm like, we did what? No, I don't remember that. What do you mean we did that? She's like, girl, like, we took pictures, and this happened, and then this happened, and then that happened, and I'm like, okay, it's kind of coming back, but no, I had completely forgotten about that. I'm sure that there's something wrong, but oh well. Yeah, like one of my very best friends from middle school, her name was Melinda. She had an immaculate memory. She could remember like everything we've ever done together. And I'm like, that is all news to me. I don't remember shit. Why? Why don't I remember shit? Is it trauma? Is it that trauma that the kids keep talking about? Is it trauma? I don't know. But sometimes it really sucks. And maybe it's just, they say that if you're going to remember something new, you have to forget something old. And my brain likes to absorb useless information. Completely useless information. Information that I can't use, like ever. And I've thought about like joining bar trivia because it's that kind of information. It's like, which actress starred in the 90s movie Switch? Ellen Barkin. Why do I know that? I don't know. I have been watching a lot of TV because it's easy to do while you're optimizing your resume for every application you submit. So I've also had a very long-running watch list that I'm just finally chopping away at. Yet I'm not watching any of the shit that people are actually suggesting that I watch. I'm watching completely different stuff. So I started watching The Floor, starring Rob Lowe, which is just a trivia show. That's all. It's just a trivia show. But it's like really easy trivia, but really niche trivia. And that's kind of my sweet spot. And I'm the type of person, I would love to go on a game show. But not any game show. Like, it's gotta be some kind of a trivia game show. There used to be this game show back in the day called Rock and Roll Jeopardy. Jeff Probst, who has been hosting Survivor on CBS for like the last 300 years. It was his gig before Survivor. And it was Jeopardy, but it was all specific to music. And sometimes they would show you clips from a music video, and you would have to name the artist and the song for the music video. And sometimes they would just speak. They would have like a computer just speaking the lyrics, and you would have to guess what the song is. It was just really, really interesting, and I guess it didn't go on for very long because it is so niche. It is so niche. Because Jeopardy can cover everything. Everything. And Rock and Roll Jeopardy was like, yeah, it's just music. And maybe people thought it was like really hard or something. I don't know. There was also something called like the Pop Culture World Series. That was really fun. And yeah, that was a fun trivia show. That was a fun trivia show. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I should join some bar trivia and just go in there and be like, I can't even call myself the pop culture person, because the pop culture that I know is the shit I grew up with. So if somebody was like, name 4 Timothée Chalamet movies, I'd be like, I don't know, Wonka, and then Dune, and then probably another Wonka, and then probably the other Dune, because I don't pay attention to him. And like, I don't know any. What I know is very obscure. What I know is very niche. What I gotta give it to your mama. What I gotta give it to your papa. Do a little dance. Drink a little water. That was one of the clues. Yeah, it's the lyrics to Give It Away by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I can remember that. That show hasn't been on the air in 20 years. Probably. I can remember that. I can't remember what I had for lunch yesterday. So yeah, you should check out The Floor on Fox. Yeah, game shows are fun. Alex and I, when we were in college, we watched Beat Shazam, and we are really good at that because my dad had me listening to a lot of stuff as a kid that most kids weren't listening to. Her dad had her listening to a lot of stuff that most kids aren't listening to. So she knows like everything about the world of Motown and like some other oldies adjacent stuff, because that's what her parents were really into. And then I know a lot about rock, like classic rock. And being able to just like identify the song title is pretty simple if you can remember it. The show Don't Forget the Lyrics, I remember watching that with my dad when when it was first on and Mark McGrath was hosting it, and now it's Niecy Nash, and ooh, I like me some Niecy Nash. That is a hard show because you never notice how much of the lyrics you're really just mumbling over until somebody's like, okay, but what are they exactly? And then you're like, I don't know. Just say, Woomba, and you're fine. I don't know. But that's a fun one. I don't think I would be nearly as good at that one as Beat Shazam. But I was trying to think, like, if I was going to be a contestant on the floor, what my niche category would be. And so one contestant on there was doing Taylor Swift song titles, so I'm like, well, I guess I could do Prince song titles, or just anything about Prince, or just random shit. It's just a head just full of crap. And I want to blame my dad, but like, he didn't put that crap in my head. And the only reason I want to say I want to blame my dad is because he's also like just a well of I don't know why I know that information. So, apple didn't fall far from that tree. So, I'm sure I have sounded deranged for long enough. It's good to be seen. Thank you for being here. And we will see you next time. Hi, I'm Jen.